So I was training typing the other day and I had the idea of trying to learn Italian as I train typing just because I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not, but I train typing a lot and I thought that if I did it in Italian, I'm not gonna lose anything, so and should be an interesting experiment. But then as I got into that idea, I decided to actually try to learn it. And I was looking for I looked at some videos that talked about this, and their advice was to learn the 80% of words that are used the most often, or the 20% of words that are used and 80% of the time, something like that. Basically using the Pareto distribution rule to learn faster and only focus on words that are actually used in the language. And I thought that makes a lot of sense. And I never really liked learning new languages, but I think it's mostly because of the way people teach it, because it's not practical and focuses on grammar, and I don't care about that. I want to learn different languages so I can expand the amount of information I can capture. Because a lot of the times, as I was learning how to program, there was some instances where I could search videos in Portuguese as well as English, and that sometimes allowed me to watch some videos that existed in Portuguese but not in English and vice versa. So I think learning new languages is probably very good for that because it expands your horizon. So I was searching for the most frequent words in Italian and found this site here that has the 1,000 most frequent words. And then I thought that it might be a good idea to try to build a Rust WebScraper because this is probably very easy because it doesn't require JavaScript. And so I watched some tutorials and I did some of this and it works. So I'm getting these elements here, but I'm not getting the text. So I'm gonna try to finish this on stream, get all of these texts, and then put them on a CSV or something like that, and then create a script with a text to speech voice to uh, make the sound of these voices every 5 seconds or every certain amount of time, so I can train them every day, repeat the words in Italian, and then get the translation in English right after, and then maybe switch it up and do other stuff. So I practice one word by word, and only that alone I don't think is gonna be enough. But then I can watch videos on Italian as well about programming stuff. And because I know the programming part already, is gonna be something good because it's gonna allow me to reinforce and to understand Italian as well, hopefully. So I think I'm gonna try that for probably 6 months. I don't know, I'm not sure how hard I'm gonna go with this, but yeah. And the other thing that I tried to do was convert the code that I had in Python to Rust, but I felt like it wasn't a very good idea because most of the code that I have in Python comes from different libraries and I don't have a lot of algorithms. So I don't think it makes a lot of sense to do that. So I decided to quit on that idea and do this one as a beginner project. And if I spend too long trying to do this, I'm gonna stop and then I'm gonna start building the other stuff because the other stuff is a lot more important. And I think I'm gonna put music and then try to do this quietly, or maybe I'll talk about what I'm doing, and I'm not gonna read the chats just so I can focus. But this is pretty much uh, is getting pretty much the stuff that I need. But I only have to figure out how to get the text from it because it is getting the elements, and I'm not sure what the elements are, what type they are. So, and I also watched a bunch of videos about assembly, machine code, and the way that the computer works. Probably over 50 videos or even more. at 2x, 2.5x speed. I think my understanding is increasing dramatically from what it was before, but I still don't think that is enough to understand completely before I start focusing only on Rust. So I wanna finish this playlist on assembly. I saw other ones, but I didn't feel I couldn't pay too much attention because it was after I watched a bunch of videos. And I'm also gonna watch the Ban Eater videos again, and the other videos on his playlist because I've paid a lot of attention on the beginner ones, but at the end of the playlist my attention started to fade, so I'm gonna probably watch the whole playlist again. And it's extremely good. I highly recommend his videos. I think they are the best videos I've found about hardware so far. It's a shame that he doesn't have more videos because he explains things really, really well. So after I'm done with this, I'm probably gonna try to finish this playlist and then watch this one again and try to watch all the videos he has.
Ever since I uploaded a few videos of this 8-bit program.
But I think I'm gonna watch this playlist as I go over this other one, which is more related to the chain data website that I'm building. So let me run this. Also deleted some files accidentally because Git was telling me that they were not committed, and then I had to download everything and do another project and pass the files. Yeah, but it seems to be working out. Yeah, so I'm receiving these elements here from this call. The other thing that I was trying to do, and I didn't understand why it wasn't working, was print the HTML data or cursor or document. And he was saying that I borrowed before, which I guess it makes sense because after you use the variable, it goes out of scope and then the garbage collector removes the variable. That's what I think is happening. But I just couldn't find a way to pass this by reference here and then maintain the value of this variable in this scope here to print at the end. And I'm not sure, this is the same thing that I had problem with TypeScript before, which is the types of structures. And I guess in Rust it's gonna be even harder because you have traits. And in TypeScript you don't have traits, you have interfaces and enums. So maybe it's the same thing. But I think that's the thing that I'm gonna scroll the most, because it's really annoying for me. But then that's the good thing about studying Rust, because automatically I feel like once I'm good at Rust, then TypeScript is gonna become good by default, because it's pretty much the same thing. Not the same thing is obviously not, but the structures that I'm not familiar with TypeScript are the same structures that Rust has, that the other languages that I know don't have. And so how, I think I'm gonna search for how, or maybe I should train Vim first. How train print the type. And I think I'm gonna learn more advanced. I learned a few more commands on Vim because I had to. The thing that is annoying me is that I can't copy paste on VS Code when I have the Vim bindings. I'm not sure why. But what you can do is press V, and that allows you to select text. And then you can press Y, and that copies the text, and then you can press P to copy. But it's annoying sometimes because when I copy text outside, then I can't copy, then I can't paste. I'm probably gonna have to figure out at some point. The other command that was really useful is Shift A, which goes to the end of the line and moves the cursor to the insert mode, which is a lot better than the Shift $, because the Shift $, doesn't go actually to the final point of the line. It goes one character below, not below, one character before the end of the line. That's very annoying because one of the habits I have is to press and enter, go to the end of a line and press and enter to create an empty space to put more lines. So Shift A is a lot better for that. I don't think it's that hard once you get used to it. The problem is that there is still a lot of commands that I have to know, and it's gonna take time until it becomes a natural thing. I think once I become very comfortable with the Vim bindings, then I'm gonna try to download Vim. It's harder to learn Vim, I think, because I'm gonna have to understand the plugins and understand the file structure. I think I remember trying to use it, but I didn't like that much because in VS Code I have access to the files here. And to me it's a lot better to navigate between files like this because I have an idea, it's easier to have an idea in my mind of the structure of the project, but Vim doesn't have that, so it's gonna be hard initially, I think. And the other thing that happened while I wasn't streaming is that Build Space did something for kind of like a private group for people that graduated from Nights and Weekends, which I thought was really cool. And they are gonna have, I think they're gonna work on that a lot, so I'm excited for that as well. It's called Spaces. I think they're gonna probably have multiple different spaces, and I think that's really cool because you have access to people that are also building cool things and trying to improve, so. I think that's enough. The other difficult thing about Rust is that I think it's gonna be harder to find information about these things because I think the community is smaller than the other languages. But the documentation seems to be pretty good. Okay, so create a different function here. Or maybe I should create at the end. I'm still very slow when making this. As far as I know, this T stands for generic type, which allows you to pass any type and then it is accepted, but it shouldn't be used that often. I gotta see if there's a better way to do this, to move to the end of the thing. Try not to use the arrow keys so that I practice the Vim bindings. Oh, actually, it's on this one. But I think the compiler is gonna scream at me because of the referencing. That's the problem. I also uninstalled Rust Analyzer because it was really annoying. It was putting a bunch of text here and it was making me confused about this stuff that I was actually coding. So I think maybe when I'm more advanced I can try that again. And so it doesn't work. Maybe if instead of this, or actually I should use this one. Also Shift V copies the entire line, or selects the entire line. And when you select, you press D, it deletes. No. See? Nice. Let's see if this one. Oh, I think I copied the wrong one. There we go. Finally. Oh, yeah, obviously. Yeah, so this is the issue, is that oh, what if I just do X here? I should probably have saved the other one instead of replacing there, but whatever. Oh, nice. So it worked. So I guess this select library that I have to study. I also looked at another example of WebScraper, but it was too advanced. I couldn't understand things. So this was the easiest one that I could find. I watched a tutorial and then I pretty much copy what the guy did. But then I switched it up for the site that I wanted and changed the class here. So let me go back to the other one. Okay. Now what I need, I think I have to do it here instead of printing. I think I'm gonna do this. and then just create a new one, just so I don't lose the other one in case I... The other thing that I have to study again is this operator here. I think it's called lifetime or something like that. From what I understand, I think is it allows you to maintain the value of something or increase the scope or something like that. I don't remember really well. I was watching a bunch of videos on Rust. Maybe I should open that and watch that later. Oh, it's this guy, I think.
Hi guys, my name is Spencer.
Eat this one, lifetimes. Also, I'm gonna run this again and then let me write the thing down. Select. Yeah, so I need to see how can I access the children. Maybe if I just do... Yeah, I'm gonna try print ln. And then I'm gonna try to do it... Oh, let me do this again, even though that is gonna be slower now, but I'm gonna practice. Can go here, 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 V, back, 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 and Y, hold down, oops, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so instead of this, I think I can try to do it. Now I'm not sure if it's with the dot or the two semicolons. I also want to see how can I access a string of an object or a struct. I guess I'm not sure if Rust has objects. I think it has, but not really sure. Yeah, I'm gonna try this first and then the two things if it doesn't work. But the thing is that not only I have to access the children, but I also have to understand what this is here. I think I forgot this. It's probably gonna be children.text, because I only want the text, obviously. So it doesn't work. Let me try it like this. Yeah, it doesn't work. Then this is gonna return the element. But the thing is, I don't really understand what this is. It's probably an implementation of a struct, but I'm not really sure. Children. That's an iterator. I'm not sure how to call this. I'm just gonna try. I suppose it is a struct, so based on what it says there. Maybe I should write how to access properties of a struct. Oh, it has to be implementation actually. Yeah, because there are functions. But it doesn't say how to call the function. Oh, I guess I understand what I did wrong there. I think I didn't call it. That's the problem. Let me see if this works. Oh, I didn't close the thing here. So no. Cannot be formatted. Let me see this. Children doesn't implement display. That's another thing that I've seen before as well. I'm not really sure how to deal with this. And what if I don't print? And then I do it here. Oh. So apparently I think he's saying that it's a struct, not a function. Just run again. It's run up nowhere. If I do this, it's probably not gonna work as well. Or maybe it's because this. So. Oh yeah. I have to do that. Because this is each element of the document. I think this is the whole document. It gets the whole document, and then this unwraps the document and finds the element with these attributes. And maybe if I did the children here, it would be easier. But I want to figure out how to do it with the for each. This was the one that he used on the tutorial, I think. Filter map. Let me print this again. Oh, I forgot that I can't do Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. Whatever. It's a little annoying because I don't have any practice, so it's a lot harder to do it. But I guess it's good because then I force myself to practice instead of just going for the default way that I did things before. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is struct with an implementation. Oh, but actually each one might be... Maybe we should do it on the parent element and then try to call the function on the for each here. Because this is saying it constructs an iterator over nodes child nodes. So it's not that it's not what I want. What I want is to... Oh, maybe it is what I want, but first I want to try to get the children out of the element. Then I'll think about... Maybe I'll watch the videos again. Yeah, but that's not what I want, I think.
All those cracks soak up the rain. Dip into the other side. I'm back again. Someday you're gonna find me somewhere in the pictures. Step into the color out.
I'm probably confusing the way that obviously confusing. It's the way that I'm thinking about is this is like a class on the other languages, and then I'm trying to access the property of the class, but it probably doesn't work the same way. Oh, definitely doesn't. Or maybe I'm doing some. Maybe it's because of the way that I'm describing inside of this for each here. Via dot notation. So maybe it's because of the way that I'm doing that. Because this one I think I tried before, it doesn't work. So maybe it is a type and not a struct. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me because I'm seeing here the values, so. I think I'm gonna wait until I watch the videos because I think this is a really good way to learn, just forcing myself to try to figure out before. And then I watch the videos again, and it's much more likely that I'm gonna be able to focus on the thing that I want to figure out and then remember that. Oh, maybe if I do children here. Wonder what that's gonna give me. So this mistake is different than this one, which tells me that it's probably the way that I'm accessing this because it probably has the children property because of this mistake here that is giving me. It is a type node, and then I'm trying to access this. Attempted to take value of method children on type node. Method not apply. The problem is that if I do like this, it doesn't work as well. So and this is giving me the tuple time. What if I do it like this? And this is another problem I was getting before. You have to use this macro here so I can make this async, but I'm not sure why. Oh. Let's see. It works now. Still on offer. Interesting. So what I'm gonna do is try to search. I have a couple of ideas of things that I can search. And I don't think printing here is gonna work. Probably have to figure out a way to chain methods here on this found to get what I want. Maybe if I did this map or yeah, I'm not sure if I can use this syntax here. But if I did it like this. Not sure if this makes sense. So it does have defined implementation, which is this one. Oh, wait. This doesn't help at all. Maybe I have to implement the function myself, but that doesn't make sense. Because what I think happens here is that since I already have the struct with the implementations, it's already embedded into it because these functions are implemented on the library itself that I'm using to access these things. And I think this probably is not going to work, it doesn't make any sense, but yeah. I guess instead of using this syntax, you use this one. Rust. It's pretty much the same thing because of these ones here. But I also think it's not gonna work. Node is not an integrator. So it is a struct. Yeah, it has to be this, the one that I was looking at. I just don't understand. Can I go to the source code of this? I think it only works if I have the extension probably. And it doesn't go there. Another option could be use this one. Or this one probably is better. I just have to figure out how to implement, how to call this function. I think it's gonna say choose the dot notation, so that's the problem here. Maybe searching for the mistake as well that I'm getting there is gonna be helpful. Isn't gonna debug. Oh, maybe it is working, it's just not displaying. Oh. So that's the mistake again. It's gonna work now. So it's working, but then it's complaining that I'm not using this function. Interesting. Yeah, I'm just gonna comment this out, obviously, because I'm not gonna use it anymore, I think. And then here, I think I'm gonna try to print again to see if I get anything. I don't understand though, why do I have to put this stuff here? And now I'm getting an empty thing as well. So maybe if I did another for each here.
Follow you down the open hall. The closer we get, the more I fall.
Oh, forgot the
Wanna
thing.
believe in what I said. It's only lies inside my head.
Oh, that's the problem.
Back to when we're young. Back to where we started.
Don't understand. Maybe if I try
Said we'd spin this fast.
another method there.
Fool would make it last. Only a fool would.
The issue is that I don't understand this thing here. And I also don't know which methods I can use. But maybe, actually, the methods are probably from the other thing. Where I think I closed.
Only a fool would make it last.
Yeah, there's these methods here. Then I'm using the find, and then doing the for each. There's a selection containing nodes passing the given predicate p. I think I'm starting to understand how it works. So one alternative would be to change the thing here, and then I get a different. Maybe that's easier, because then I can go directly for the child instead of. But I don't like that way. I rather try to figure out how to do it with this one. And this returns the node's objects. And then I'm looping over the node objects. That's what's happening. But I don't understand. Maybe if I do this, because I think it's probably getting the stuff that I want there, but it's not displaying that. If that makes sense. In the same way, when I was typing before, I was getting the elements here, but when I type here, I think it's because of the scope or the reference, something like that. And this gets the elements but doesn't return. It's garbage collected, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I can't use this without this stuff. What else can I try? Let me try without this stuff. It's gonna give me the same mistake again. Oh, I guess I understand. I think it's the same mechanism from JavaScript, where if you have the arrow key, you can sometimes declare things in one line, but if you're gonna do more complex things, you need to put the curly braces to put another scope. I think that's the same thing that is happening here. It's probably why this way fails and the other way it accepts. It's pretty much the same logic, I think. So let me try to do it like this. I'm gonna print, maybe I should print before. I need to practice more typing with these symbols because I usually practice just the dictionary stuff. It's just normal words. Oh, I don't need to put the thing, I think. I wonder if this is gonna work. Oh, I forgot the exclamation here. Also, I do need the... Yeah, obviously. Oh, so, okay. Yeah, but it's the same thing as before. Let me think. Because the weird thing is that it says that and then if I print with the children, size not gonna work. Because it's gonna say that it doesn't have the attributes. And try with the text. Can also try this one. As if I can serialize to a string, then I probably can convert back to a struct. Also not sure if how does that work, if it works at all. Now those are the kind of things I maybe should search for videos that explain the common things among Python and Rust, or JavaScript and Rust. So far it feels like to me that is a language that is very much like in between JavaScript and Python. It's kind of has the same Python philosophy, let's say, of chaining these methods here, but it has some things from JavaScript, I think, as well. And maybe this one is better, the inner HTML. Let me try the S text first. Or at least this one prints, but it's saying that that's probably because the child has text and not the node itself. And the problem is that this constructs an iterator. That's why it's not giving me anything. It's not getting the child, it's making an iterator over the child, the children. I guess I understand now. Maybe if I did find children again. That seems inefficient. I think I'm just gonna try one by one and see if I get anything. It's probably a good idea. Just because I'm curious to see. And I think some of these methods is not gonna allow me to print because they are a different type. Like the children one is an iterator and not a string or something different. So you can put it inside of the macro. I'm not exactly sure how that works as well. Really well. These ones don't have any description, but it's explanatory. Maybe if I try the first child, it's gonna give me the children there. I'm also gonna try this thing here, probably. Just to see if it gives me anything. Because I think the children is an array or list, whatever, that contains the text. So if I could access that list through this children iterator here, or maybe that's already the element itself. I just need to extract the text from this one. But it doesn't look like it has anything here. Maybe if I could do the match thing here. It's hard to know which direction to go with because I'm not really sure exactly what that is. The extra children. I think it is the children value of the elements, of the node elements, but I'm not really sure. Because I don't understand even if this is the iterator where it's not returning anything here. That's the problem. And maybe I should be doing this, but I don't think it's gonna work if I do it like this. Because one of the reasons it might be that, yeah, but then I wouldn't be able to use it here as well, I think. Because of the thing when you pass to a function, you lose the value. Oh, this is another good one to try. I'll try this one next. And there's so many methods. And that's the other thing that you can try as well. Should do a map there and try to print inside of the map. And the children. I think the reference thing on that X, your X value is not gonna work. Just wanna see if there's anything interesting here before I try the other methods. This is kind of like reduce, I think, but I'm not really sure. Oh, this one I've seen sometimes. I don't know what is a predicate. I'm gonna write this down here so I can look it up later.
I will learn so much that way.
Yeah, let me just try this stuff.
I will learn so much.
And this one. Oh, interesting. It didn't fuck it up. Nice. Yeah. Well, I guess it's because I'm getting the index here. But it's still printing nothing here, so guess what I'm gonna try to do is this here. Easy. Then print. Because if this is the children, then it's probably gonna print the text there, but I'm not sure. And then I'm gonna try a different method here for this one. So this is in the index. Wow. And I'm not sure if these references here make any difference. Interesting. Gave me an error there, which probably means that I should make this equal to a variable, if I understand correctly, but I'm not sure. It's still giving me the element with this raw thing here. Add the data. And this is probably, it's hard because I have no idea. It doesn't look like it's printing anything. I think it didn't work. And now at least it's not giving me any error messages there. If I do like this, yeah, it shows up that thing there. Just gonna run so I can see the message. Unused map. I guess the iterators are kind of like generators in Python, where it doesn't have the full thing. It waits for you to call it in order to do something. So it handles one value at a time. It's probably better because it's more efficient, if I had to guess. I think Python has this, but it's different. It's generators in Python. And then Python also has the standard things. The map in Python, I think, is not lazily generated. Maybe what I can do... Oh, I think I understand what it means now. Message goes this. And then go here. And do match message. Some. Yeah, but now I don't remember how to do it. I know I have to put the arrow there, but I should do something like this. And then I do print around here. And just try to copy it from here. Oh, actually. There we go. And then there's the... I don't remember. I don't think it's error, something else, but I forgot. Error is for the result type, I think. So it's some and something else. And I also don't know what to put here. So maybe it's any variable. It's b and then b. Because this is going to be equal to one of the elements of this iterator here. I guess it's none, or... is the option type. I guess it's none. And B. Whatever. Oh, actually, I can print a message here. Any message, I think. This doesn't matter that much. Let's see if this works. And close the limiter. So I fucked it up here, I think. I guess I'm doing the wrong thing because I'm using the option thing, but it is a map. I just did it like that because I saw some videos, I think, of people doing like this, but I don't really remember when they used that. How much you end the match, arm expression. I guess I have to do it like this instead. And then the other one, I guess it's the same thing. Not sure if this is the problem. Okay, so at least it's working now. Children doesn't implement it, bro. Yeah, I guess this part is useless if I do it like this because it's a children anyway. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it gives me the same thing. It's a different kind of thinking than because what I'm used to doing both in JavaScript and Python is using math or filter to do things with each element, but I guess it's not this type of approach you should do on Rust, because you're only gonna create the iterator when you use those methods and then do things after you create the iterator. It's probably more common that you create the iterator first and then use the match, or to put the functionality you want, but it's very different. I think it's gonna take some time until I understand how it works, or the best way to go about it. And this is pretty much useless for what I'm trying to do, but I think it's still good to try stuff out just so I start to understand more how everything works. Because this is the hardest part. I think I understand all the concepts now, but it's still really hard. I have no idea on how to think about it. And also, especially the methods of each thing. It's very different to think about the structs and implementations than to think about classes, I think, on the other languages. Or maybe I just don't know any way yet to go about it. Because I think as you program, you develop an algorithm of the way you approach each thing. And then when you change the concepts, it's really hard to learn again. And that's the problem here. I think I'm gonna erase this stuff. And then I'm just gonna continue to explore the methods there on this print statement. And maybe I can also try to do it like this. But then this would be a problem because I would only be able to get the first element, and then if the text has more elements, then I wouldn't be able to get it. And the annoying thing is that I can't print as well. Maybe this one I can print. Extrude on, because it's probably only one element, since it looks like each one of them only has one child, but 0. Oh, actually I'm only gonna get one element regardless, I think, because I'm specifying the index. Let's see if it works. Oops. I should have commented the other one out. Let's try again. Oh, interesting. Nice. So now I think I got all of them. I think I got the text. Now I can do the match thing, I think, because it's a sum type. I can do the thing that I was doing before. So I make this equal to a variable, then I match, and then I put sum, and then print the text. I think that's gonna work. But the issue is that after that I still have to put all the stuff on the CSV, so I'm not sure. Because this might be something that changes the way that I'm doing things as well, because it might be better to try to store this in this variable here and figure out how to use this after, outside of this for each function here, which I don't understand how to do. Yeah, but this is really interesting. Yeah, I think now it's pretty easy, I think, but I'm gonna explore the other methods. But I think what I'm gonna do is the match stuff, and then for the sum case, I'm gonna search how to write to CSV, and then I can write. Yeah, the problem is how I'm gonna know the columns. I guess in this case specifically, because I know it's always going to be 3, I can make it so maybe I can create another variable or something like that, because then I can specify for each I can actually run a loop instead of the match over this. So I make this equal to this, then I loop through this element here, and then I specify every 3 index, I put each one in a different column. So it's gonna be the number, and then the name in Italian, and the name in English. That's probably the way to do it. But I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty easy, the rest. But I'm gonna spend more time. Maybe I should try to figure out how to do it the easiest way possible, and then then spend more time playing around with this, just so I learn more. This is probably the same as Python. The way that it works. Yeah, this is exactly the same. I have a feeling that, well, yeah, because Rust came a long time after Python, so I have a feeling that they were heavily inspired by Python. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I wanted to learn this. I also think that's very likely that that Rust is gonna be a lot more used in the future. After I had some time to think about it, because WebAssembly allows to run the code in the browser, and I think it's gonna get better and better. And because the vast majority of developers seem to like Rust, and if other experienced people like the language, it's probably because there's some value in it. So I think it's gonna grow a lot, and I think it's very similar to C++ in the way that it is in between Python and JavaScript. Usually we have polarities on things, and the, let's say, closer to optimal approach is the approach that encapsulates both sides of the polarity. And I think I suspect the rest might be that for JavaScript and Python. But C++ is also an alternative, so I think they're both gonna be important. C++ will always be important, probably, because it's one of the beginning languages. But I think Rust also fulfills a gap there, and it's probably, from what I've seen, is a lot safer than C++ because it handles memory better. So I think there's very high probability that more people will start using Rust, especially if WebAssembly becomes a lot better. Also because it's a lot faster. So I think it's definitely worth it to learn it. And as I train more and more, I might start disliking the language more, but so far I'm liking it a lot. The only thing that I dislike is the same thing that I dislike with TypeScript, which is the types, which is hard for me because I don't have experience with them, and it seems like an annoying thing to figure out. This one I've seen, this take while and this other whiles I've seen very often. Several different tutorials. This is probably important. I think the most important things are probably match, the sum type, the result type, the things that are different than other languages, macros. Those are the ones that I've seen the most I think. And the rest is probably pretty similar to the other ones, to the other languages. I guess it's a condition predicate, same thing as a condition. Oh yeah, it's probably a condition. But what's the difference between this and filter? Oh, the reference thing is also confusing as well. See, pretty similar to the other one. Yeah, I'm gonna test the other methods and then I'll try to do the match thing and get the sum and get the text, and then I'll look for the CSV methods, and then I'll come back to this, and then potentially watch videos later to understand the stuff that I'm not getting yet. Nice. Okay. And this one might be good as well. Because I'm not looking for comparisons in other metrics, I'm just looking for to see how the code. I wish there was a video of people talking about, for people that know how to code in Python, what are the things they're going to struggle the most with and what are the similarities. But maybe I can create a video like that in the future once I'm more experienced. First thing that I notice now is the iterator thing. But obviously I'm not sure if I'm qualified because I also don't have a lot of experience in Python or building bigger applications where systems design takes a important part of the thing. I think I'm gonna watch this as well. It's the option type. Okay. So data. Oh, nice. Oh no, that's different. I thought it was giving me the same thing than the other methods. But this returns the name of the class. I guess, yeah, makes sense. I'm finding by name here, so obviously the name is gonna be that. Okay, so it doesn't work. Oh, and each pass is string slice. At the value of the attribute name. I don't understand this. Let me just try to pass anything here. Try to pass this. Yeah, it's complaining about the argument. I don't get it. Because obviously I can't call this outside of X here. Doesn't make sense. So what name should I pass there? I guess I'll just go to the next one. This is not gonna allow me to print, I guess, because it's an iterator. But we'll see. Yeah. Okay, this one gives me something. Yeah, but doesn't matter. Let's try previous. I'm already set on what I'm gonna do, obviously. I'm gonna try the other methods, but it's still interesting to see what information I can get from all these methods. So I'm not gonna spend too much time trying to figure out how to make them work. I'm just gonna go one by one. Because this gets the next node. Gets the previous, then this gets the next. Just new line. Oh, nice. Okay. So this gives me the same thing that this one gives. And I guess it's because, yeah, that's the thing. The issue is, what if I had multiple different childs? How would I get all the values? That's the question. But I guess in that case I could also change the class here, or figure out by attributes or something like that. I think there are different ways in that case. Maybe I should write down this. I'm also thinking about how I'm gonna, if there's any way to do it in a better way so I can get each column instead. Maybe I should change this to get another element. Because it would be a lot easier, I think, if I could get them in order by row and not by... Because then obviously I can just append directly into the CSV without having to worry about organizing them in the correct order. Yeah, so maybe if I go by TR and then I get the childs instead. I'm gonna write this down in case I want to do that. Maybe we should do it in the other line here. Fuck. Last child. It's probably gonna give me the same thing because there's only one child. But I think I get it, yeah. Text. And all of it's children. Interesting. Oh, nice. Okay, so this one is much better. Getting the text directly. Nice. I'm glad I went through them, because I think this one's gonna be much easier. Yeah, so if this, but maybe I should try to do it the other way as well. I think what I'm gonna do, because I have the guides here, I'm gonna save the easy solution in one branch and then do another branch and try the other solution with the match, the more complicated one, just to practice and just see if it works the way that I was thinking about doing. But here now I think it's gonna be pretty easy, because all I have to do is figure out how to open the CSV file, and then I can open the CSV file in the beginning here. And then the writing method is probably going to be very similar to Python, where you just select append and then you place the logic for create another loop here inside of this and place a logic. Which is not that hard. Okay, this gives the whole HTML thing. Let me see if I can do. Yeah, I guess I'm not gonna be able to do that because it's a string. I was gonna do dot inner HTML, but yeah, I think this inner HTML probably returns that already. The other thing that I want to see is how to parse, how to convert a string to object and vice versa. Because I don't understand the concept of objects in Rust really well. I think it is done by using structs, but I'm not really sure. I didn't quite understand yet how to translate this kind of thinking from the other languages into Rust, of dealing with objects and transforming different data structures, which I'm already used to doing the other languages. Also, this is the same thing. I guess inner text would be the same as well, probably. But I think text is probably more safe. Maybe text is getting the inner text of the element, and then inner HTML is getting the inner HTML. But from what I remember, inner HTML is slightly riskier than inner text. But I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's the case. So this find would be the same thing as the other one, I guess. Where if you want specific class or type of text, probably use the find and then you pass like this here. Probably the same thing on the other one. Let's see this one. I think I'm gonna erase this stuff here because I'm probably not gonna use it. Okay, no. Oh, I guess it doesn't have the text because this is the node. X is the node and not the children of the node. So the X itself doesn't have the text. But I don't understand really well why the text works and then because this gets from the children. A combined textual content of a node and all of its children. And this only gets from the node, I think. Okay, now that's the difference. Yeah, so I guess you use this when you want all of the text that exists on the element. And then you use this one or this other method when you only want the first or whatever text from a specific child of the parent node. Children already tried. Yeah, this is all of them. So now we're gonna try to do what I was talked about before. I'm gonna do this. Yeah, and then I can go here and then do a match. CH. So I'm not sure if that's how you do it though, with the arbitrary letter there. I guess we'll see. Because the thing is, oh yeah, now I have to research the language. But let me try it like this first. Research how to put it on the CSV. And then just what do I do? Oh, there's also a comma, which I forget. So it looks like it is X, or any letter you want inside. And then here, instead of the print, I put a function. Maybe I can call the function outside, yeah, that's probably better. I do the same way that I did with this one. I don't think it has to be asynchronous though, because once I call this, maybe I should put the await here after the method, but I'm not sure. The same way that is done here. If I make the other function synchronous. I'm gonna comment this out so I don't get confused on the print statements. Expected struct string. Oh, so it is a string. Oh yeah, it's because I'm getting the text directly. I forgot. So let me do it the other way. I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna paste here. Go here. Because I'm curious to see this one, if it's gonna work or not. Also, I'm not sure if I should use this referencing here. I guess it's unnecessary. I'm just gonna take it out because I'm calling the method on it. I'm not passing it into a function, so I don't think it's necessary. I think it will be necessary when I create the other function. But maybe not, because I'm not gonna use it. Not gonna use this value after I write it through the CSV, so maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, there we go. Nice. But I'm still getting the text. That's the thing. How do I get this string? Because if I do the dot text here, I think it's redundant. The issue is that I'm not sure what this is exactly. I don't know if it's a type or something else. I guess I can do the string from or something like that. I think I remember seeing that somewhere. A string from or something like that. But I think it was for converting string slice into a string. Not sure if it works on other data types, other data structure. Maybe I can call the function here as well. I think that's a good idea. I'm gonna copy this. I wonder if there's a way to copy and delete at the same time. Probably there is. I should probably memorize that one after. I think I'm gonna try to get used to the ones that I know before. Delete. And then here I can call this other function there. And then pass by reference like this. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it's a select node type. Yeah, I guess it's because the document, the HTML document is a tree. So I'm just navigating through the tree with this method here. And then it is still a node, but it's the child node of the other element. Python. Maybe I should just search for the documentation. Oh, I already have the documentation. It's the same one. I'm thinking about. Yeah, so I guess the only method, the best way is just get the text done. Shouldn't do this stuff here. Because I'm gonna fall into this. Oh, but actually, this way might be useful depending on the situation, because you might be. Because this gets a different type of node inside the other node. That's the difference. So whenever you want to select a specific child, I think this is the best way, probably. But maybe we can do that. Yeah, maybe we can do it before, or we can do it here as well. So I'm not really sure. Yeah. So guys, I'm gonna erase this stuff and do it the other way. I think that was enough. I just was curious to see if the match there was gonna work. So now what I want is I'm gonna search for how to write to CSV. Just trying to think before. Oh yeah, then after I do that, let me think. I think it's better to commit this actually first, because then I can start from scratch on the main thing. When I'm gonna try to do from this dr here, to get row by row instead of the child. I'm gonna merge into the master first. Now this thing here I didn't understand. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to commit this or not. But it says in track here, and I ended up deleting by mistake before, and I had to redo everything. But when you start the project, the Rust doesn't put this on the git ignore, so I'm not really sure if I should put it or not. I think I'm gonna put it here for now. But I'm not really sure if that's how it's supposed to be. This is another thing that I got as well, and I had to do it. Just specify the git ignore, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to commit the git ignore. But I don't think there's any problem with doing that, because there's nothing really dangerous there, I think, to commit, so. Yes, I'm gonna do it this way first, and then I'll create another branch to try the other way. So I probably have to put here. I'm not pretty sure. Not sure if it comes as the same way that the standard library comes. Also, I'm not sure if this is best practice to do this tire here, but that's how I saw in the tutorial. So, but I think it's not best practice probably, because in Python I remember listening to videos that said you should avoid doing this as much as possible, because this gets any version if you don't specify, I think. I guess this kind of stuff is better to watch videos. It's probably easier to understand than to read the documentation, because I'm lazy. Yeah, I guess I need to put use CSV there. I'm not sure if that matters. Seems like it doesn't matter that much. Oh no, the other ones are also not with that color there. Yeah, I don't think I can make the function inside of this. Or maybe I don't need to make the function. I just use this. Yeah, I'm gonna search for videos. If it's not enough, then I'll look at the documentation. I'll close this one so I don't have a lot of tabs open.
Hello, welcome to Better Bills at the Python Rust.
Hello guys, it's Isaac. Welcome to another.
You guys are gonna watch this one.
How's it going? My name's John, and today I'm going to talk about how to write a script to a file in Rust. So we're basically just going to write one.
Video. Now my programmer type videos have been doing well, and I didn't really want to make another one because it would be too much. So welcome to 5 types of beginner programmers. Alright, let's go. Number 1, the one that just switched from Python to C++. Now we'll want to switch to more complicated programming languages, at least when we first start off. I mean, we all did this, so I don't see the need to explain. Alright, so I want to write a random number generator app. Let's do it. People will make fun of me because I'm using such a simple language. Oh, I know. I'll switch to C++. What could the difference be? Alright, yes, let's learn some C++. I mean, how hard could this be? Does that say 850 pages? Number 2 is the one who thinks commenting everything makes their code better. Commenting code is essential. You must write comments about what a certain piece of code does so you don't forget it. But some beginners tend to not know what to comment, so they just comment everything. Alright, my new app will be amazing. Okay, so let's make this import random, import math. Let's make a function. Actually, people might not understand what these libraries do, so I should be more certain. Alright, now it should be better. Let's write the function. I mean, people might be confused as to what this function does, so I should give it more clarity, I think. Yeah. Yeah, this one's far better. Let's actually use this to give us some random numbers. But, I mean, some people are really beginner programmers. They might not know what a for loop does. They might not know how to turn on...
There was one video, I think I'm gonna watch later, and I thought it was really interesting, from, I think it was Fireside or something like that. Programmer, 0 times.
Some data types into other data types. So let me just give it more clarity so it's more understandable. Yeah, this should be far more understandable. Number 3 is the one that thinks they don't need an IDE. IDEs and code editors are very important for programming, but some beginners tend to think that only newbies use them because of their syntax highlighting and IntelliSense. And because of this, they tend to use regular text editors, thinking it makes them look better and more professional. Alright, it's time to write this new project. An IDE, come on, I'm not a noob. Let's make this the way people did it in the 80s. Far better. Number 4, the one that started off with a weird language. You'll start with different languages. Some start with Python, some start with Ruby, JavaScript, Java, C#, C++, etc. But some people start with some really weird languages. Well, let's write an application. Alright, I learned this language in the summer. It shouldn't be that hard to write in it. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, this should loop hello world. Number 5 is the egoist. Programming gives people egos. And that's fine. You can do things that many people cannot do. Some people just take it too far. You mortals, you absolute imbeciles. You don't know anything about anything. I am a god. I can control the machinery. I can speak directly to the machinery that controls our society. I can make it do anything I want. Anyway, let me show you how to do it. I mean, about the whole controlling thing, I mean, we're getting there, kind of. Thank you for watching this video, guys. Like, my channel has been getting so much attention lately that it's just uncomprehendable.
No, this one.
The programmer, an offshoot of the great ape family closely related to chimps and gorillas, distinguished by its minimal bipedal movement and ability to stare at a computer screen for the majority of its lifetime. There's an estimated 30 million specimens alive in the world today. Normal humans use stereotypes to help understand and generalize this unusual variant, which experts estimate are about 99% accurate about 12% of the time. In today's video, we'll take a look at 10 different programmer stereotypes to find out which one you fall into. First up, we have the gearhead. This variant owns the bleeding edge version of everything, like the latest M1 Mac, a big-ass curved monitor, mechanical keyboard, Tesla in the garage, AI-generated synthetic meat in the fridge, and a smart lock on the house to keep it all safe. When programming, he goes wherever the hype train takes him. In 96 it was Java, in 06 it was jQuery, in 2016 it was GraphQL, and in 2026 he'll be first in line at Neuralink to get a chip that can help him write blazingly fast code. It doesn't matter what the tech does, if it's trendy, it belongs in the stack. This stereotype may be true sometimes, but programming can actually push many people in the opposite direction. The guy who works in tech but hates tech stereotype knows exactly how unreliable and dangerous code can be, like at the Rack 25 incident, where a little software bug accidentally killed some people by giving them a massive overdose of radiation. This guy would never buy a car that can be remotely summoned back to Elon when you stop paying the bill. And he would definitely never put a smart lock on his house because the NSA probably has backdoor access, or at the very least there's an undiscovered exploit in its code. If you broke into his farmhouse, you'd find a single monitor Linux machine, a flip phone, some gold bullion, and a shotgun barrel pointed in your face. The most stereotypical programmer though has to be the introvert. He's a savant who still sleeps in a car bed, and his vision of the ideal lifestyle is what the rest of society calls quarantine. He's super good at math and can actually program stuff without using Google and Stack Overflow, but couldn't hold a conversation to save his life. Extroverts like Jobs use these nerds like Woz to get super rich. This stereotype used to be 100% true back when programming was hard, like pre-1990s, but as programming has become more mainstream, it's led to a new paradigm, the programmer. This guy got a computer science degree while mostly partying with his frat in college. His name is usually Chad, and he has more mating opportunities than the introvert, but it comes at a cost of reduced code quality, which he refuses to test because test-driven development is for losers.
Nah, bro.
However, he has better communication skills than the introverts, which is annoying because I wish this guy would stop talking to me. Eventually, he evolves into your manager, where he can torment you with code reviews and team building exercises. Now, so far in this video, I've been using a lot of masculine pronouns. That's because 95% of my audience is male, which is actually pretty close to the real world distribution today. What you may not realize, though, is that back in the day, women used to dominate the programming space. Kathleen Booth created the first assembly language, Grace Hopper created the first compiler, and Margaret Hamilton led the team who wrote the code for the Apollo moon lander. Code that was so flawless and perfectly executed that some people think it's proof we didn't actually go to the moon. That was the apex of code quality, and since that time, everything's gone downhill. The next specimen we'll look at is the influencer or codefluencer. His natural habitat is not a code editor, but rather a social media platform, most commonly Twitter. After figuring out how to print hello world in PHP, he immediately rose to the top of the dominance hierarchy in his own mind. Now he makes the world a better place by regurgitating code tips and hot takes all day long, and he just landed a better paying job than you because he mastered the art of virtue signaling, and that's what we call a good culture fit. Another popular stereotype is the hacker. This guy's able to open up a terminal, connect to some remote mainframe, and break all of its security protocols one by one with awesome fancy animations between each step. This stereotype is what most people think programmers do, but is 100% manufactured by Hollywood. Real hacking is extremely tedious and boring, and is done primarily by the people who have all the guns. Now, a stereotype that is actually real is the 10x developer. This guy is an extremely rare unicorn that can do the work of 10 other developers combined. Some say they're a myth, but I've seen developers firsthand who write code like Durant plays basketball or Kasparov plays chess. There are people out there with a natural problem-solving ability that just goes far beyond the rest of the population. You'll know a 10x developer when you see one because you'll feel very incompetent and also very jealous. Now, I think the ideal stereotype for most of us to fall into.
I wish he talked about, or he made a video about how to get there though. Because I was really intrigued by this. Because obviously, I think that's where everyone wants to be. So it would be interesting to know. And after watching this video, I also searched for videos like this, but I couldn't find any specific video for exactly what I was looking for, which is to know how to go from the beginner into the 10x programmer that I talked about. That's the most efficient way to become that.
Is the lazy programmer. To the outside world, it doesn't look like this guy does much. He sits at a computer all day hitting the keyboard, and if you glance at his screen, it looks like he's just copying and pasting things from the internet. What he's actually doing, though, is building $1 million side hustle so he can retire in his 30s. He also has a remote job with a $400K salary, but he eats ramen for dinner while sharing a crappy apartment with 4 other dudes. His wardrobe is 50% swag from tech conferences, and 50% things his mom bought him. He leverages code to work smarter and not harder. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, we have the old jaded guy. He has long silver hair and a big white beard. He only codes in C, not C++, and definitely not any of the hipster garbage that you're using. In fact, he probably wrote the compiler for the silly toy language that you're trying to learn. His depth of knowledge transcends the normal apes idea of reality when he discovered through psychedelics that we're all just one entity that found a hack in the universe to experience itself in parallel with primate bodies. And computers are the tool that will ultimately make us one again. And that concludes our presentation on programmer stereotypes. Let me know which one you fall into in the comments below.
So
Thanks for
good.
watching, and I will see you in the next one.
As I said, one simple string to a file, and it'll be stored inside the directory of the project just like that. Alright, so to get started, we'll need to import a few things. First one being the file struct, so we can say use stdfs file, and also the prelude module. So standard IO, prelude, and then all of that. Alright, so now we can start writing to a file. So we can make a new variable called file. This will be immutable. We can say let's mut file equals file create. Now inside here, you want to put the file name of your file. For example, we can say output.txt. There we are. Right, so now what if the file can't be opened for whatever reason, or it can't be created for whatever reason? We can say expect, and then put a message. For example, could not create the file. So that will appear if we can't create the file for whatever reason. Alright, so now we can start writing to the file. Quite simple, we can just say file dot write all. Inside here we need to give a byte slice. So putting b and then a string achieves this. So we can say, for example, welcome to decode. And that is the string to write to the file. Once again, there could be problems, so if we can't write to the file for whatever reason, we can just say dot expect and then cannot write to the file, sorry mate. There we go. And that's all there is to write to a file. Let's try and test this. Open the command up and we can just say cargo run, press enter, and hopefully we get our file. And we do right here. Let's see how this looks, open it up, and we say welcome to decode. Right, so that is how you can write to a file in Rust. Thank you for watching and see you later.
Not what I wanted, so.
Series episode 15, Python module written in Rust, coming from the previous episode where we spoke about context managers. So basically what we'll be doing now is a proof of concept implementation of how to get hopefully faster implementation of code in Rust to be running in your Python code. So first we'll compare the speed of the algorithm in the two languages, then we'll compile it into a Python module, but using the language Rust, and at the very end I will give you a glimpse on how to use your now newly compiled Python module in Python. The useful traits for this endeavor are Rust CPython, the PyO3 or PyOxidize, and the setup tools in Rust. And the last one will help you to package this up nicely for your end users. So if you are writing a high performance library or anything that you've already written in Rust but you want to make it accessible to Python users, this will help you greatly. Let's look at the code and the algorithm to do the speed comparison. The algorithm is a silly method to compute the number pi. What it does is it generates random points and tries to figure out if those points are in the unit circle. If they are, then it gets added as a point was found. And at the end, we just compute the ratio of how many points were found in the unit circle and how many were not. Then we multiply this by 4 to come up with the whole circle to get an approximation of pi. This is not efficient, of course, not a precise way to compute the number pi, but it is a good way of showing how you can speed up
Yeah, I'm
comparison with parallel problem using multiple computing cores.
Guys, I'm gonna have to look at the documentation. That's the only downside of learning Rust. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of videos talking about the beginner stuff. It's probably because people that learn Rust are probably coming from other languages, so they already know most of this stuff. So people don't feel like making these videos. I'm not really sure. Or maybe it's just because there isn't a lot of people on the community, so.
What's
Or
up, Rust Station?
maybe I'm also searching the wrong way. Could be possible.
Welcome back to Let's Get Rusty. In today's video, we're going to be talking about parsing JSON in Rust. But before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure to get your free Rust cheat sheet by heading over to letsgetrusty.com/cheat sheet. With that said, let's get rusty. I went ahead and created a new cargo project. The first thing we need to do is switch over to cargo.toml and add some dependencies. First, we'll add Serde, which will allow us to parse JSON. Also, we need to make sure the derive feature is enabled so we have access to the serialize and deserialize derive macros. Next, we'll add a dependency on request and enable the JSON feature. Request is a high-level HTTP client which will allow us to fetch JSON from an API. And finally, we'll add a dependency on Tokyo with the full feature enabled. Tokyo is an async runtime for Rust and will allow us to use the async await syntax. Now that we have all our dependencies, let's switch over to main.rs. The first thing we'll do is hook up Tokyo. Now that our app is hooked up to use the Tokyo async runtime, let's make our first HTTP request. First, we create a new request client and then issue a get request to jsonplaceholder.com/todos. We also add a URL param to make sure we only get the to-do objects for user 1. We then send the request, await the response, turn the response body into a string, await that operation, and then save that string in a variable called todos. And finally, we print out todos. Let's go ahead and run our program. It might be hard to tell, but we get back a JSON string containing an array of to-do items. Let's go ahead and parse this JSON string into a struct. The first thing we need to do is import the serialize and deserialize traits from Serde. Then we'll create a struct representing each to-do item. Each to-do item contains a user ID, an optional ID, a title, and a completed flag. Next, we'll derive the serialize and deserialize traits so that we can turn JSON into the struct, or turn the struct into JSON. We'll also annotate the user ID field so it's serialized with this given name instead of the field name. This is because by convention, field names in Rust use snake case, while the API we're calling uses camel case. Now that the to-do struct is defined, let's use it in main. Instead of converting the response body into a string, we'll convert it into JSON. We'll also explicitly annotate the type of to-dos, which is going to be a vector of to-do structs. Let's go ahead and rerun our program. Notice that the response was successfully turned into a vector of to-do structs. We've just seen an example of how to call an API which returns JSON and then turn that JSON into Rust types. Next, let's see an example of how we could take a Rust type, convert it into JSON, and send it to an API. First, we'll create a new instance of to-do. Then we'll issue a post request which serializes this instance into JSON and print the result. Again, we create a request client, but instead of calling get, this time we issue a post request to the to-dos endpoint. We then set the body of the request to JSON. We pass in a reference to new to-do, which will serialize the to-do instance into JSON. Then we send the request, await the response, turn the response into JSON, await the operation, and save that response in new to-do. Finally, we print out the result. Let's go ahead and run our program. As we can see, our to-do item was successfully saved with the ID of 201. So far, we've seen how we can send and receive structured JSON. The last thing I want to talk about is how to send and receive arbitrary JSON. First, we need to add another dependency on the JSON crate. This gives us access to a macro called JSON, which allows us to construct arbitrary JSON objects. On line 23, instead of passing in a to-do struct, let's construct a JSON object. Here we're using the JSON macro to construct a to-do item using the regular JSON format. The JSON macro allows us to construct arbitrary JSON objects. We can also accept arbitrary JSON from an API by changing this explicit type annotation from to-do to value. Value is a type that represents an arbitrary valid JSON value. Let's go ahead and run our program again. Our request worked, except this time, instead of serializing the response into a to-do struct, it's serialized to an arbitrary JSON object. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down.
My Sprint 3 project. In this program, I learned how to use Rust and Cargo to make a small program to analyze some data. I found this data about the top apps in the Google Play Store. There's like 70 of them, 70 apps here in a CSV file. And I use Rust to get data from that file and perform a bit of analysis on it. So the first thing I did is grab the file path here. I open the file. I create a variable to store my data. And then I call this function here it is, read from raw data that I wrote. That's down here. It just creates a CSV reader and takes in the raw data. So it's, I think it's just the CSV file as a one whole.
It's probably the same thing. I think I'm gonna make it here. It's gonna be he's using mutate, so maybe I should do the same thing. And the type there I don't understand, so I don't think I'm gonna put the type.
Whole string, turns into bytes, and then it stores it in this reader. And in this reader, I made a vector of data or a string records. And I pushed each record into that vector and returned it here. So back in
Thinking whether or not I should do a vector to start like how can I transform the text into the rows that I want? That's the question. And the thing that I don't understand really well is the object thing in Rust. Should I create a struct outside of the function and then use that struct and the vector to create these elements of tree and then append those elements to the thing? And how I'm gonna know the length of the thing? Because I'm gonna have to put if else conditions to see when the vector is full, if that makes sense. Maybe using a variable is easier, a flag variable. Or I can just use I can use for, well, that doesn't work. I was gonna say that I can loop between 0 and 3 or 0 and 2 inside of here to push. Oh, maybe that works actually. Oh, actually it's easier to create a variable outside and I make an if condition here. And if the variable reaches the amount that I want, If it doesn't reach, then I keep pushing through a vector outside. And then if it is equal to that amount, then I append. I think that's the best way, probably. The easiest way I can think of. And then after I write through I append to the CSV, I make the variable equal to 0 and the vector equal to 0 as well. I clean the vector. I'm not sure if that's possible as well.
Into that vector and returned it here. So back into the main part of the program, I got the data here, and I set up these receptacles of different statistics I wanted to learn about. And so I just iterate through all those records once and gather information about each one of these statistics. So I wanted to get the top 10 apps from the data. How many apps had in-app purchases? How many apps were ad supported? How many apps were social media? And how many apps were games? And so I iterated through all the data once and gather information about all of those based on different criteria that I was looking for. And so I just display my results here. So I'm going to run this for you. Okay. So the top 10 apps on Google Play Store is the Google Play Services, YouTube, Google, Google Maps, Google Text-to-Speech, Google Chrome, Gmail, Android Accessibility Suite, Google Drive, and Facebook. 15 out of the top 70 apps on the Google Play Store include in-app purchases. 19 out of the top 70 apps on the Google Play Store are supported by ads. And 7 of the top 70 apps on the Google Play Store, so 10% of them, are social media apps, which are Facebook, Currents, Instagram, Facebook Lite, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter. And 2 of the 70 apps are games, which are Subway Surfers and Candy Crush Stuff. And so that's this project. Thank you very much.
Yeah, obviously what I could do is create a file manually and then do this, but I'm thinking about how can I check if the file exists, and if it doesn't exist, then create a CSV that's much better. Python, I think you can use the OS for that, if I remember correctly. I think I'm gonna stop some because I'm getting tired and I'm gonna watch the videos. Then maybe I'll finish that off stream. Or I'll come back later and try to finish later. So FS. Standard FS. I'm not sure if that's how I'm supposed to do it, but use. Okay, this is much better. Yeah. Didn't read there. So let me delete this. Oh, wrong thing. I'm also gonna search for videos about this, obviously. Or maybe it should be right. Opening a file for both reading and writing, as well as creating if it doesn't exist. Nice. So it's pretty easy. I also think I'm gonna chain these methods. It's easier to read. And there we go. I think I'm just gonna run this and see if it works. It's probably better. Then I'll figure out the other stuff later. Hey, comment this out temporarily. Okay, it works. Nice. And then I can probably use this with the implementations here to write the rows. And what I'm thinking about doing is probably, yeah, maybe I should do that before I stop streaming. I'm gonna create a variable. Oh, it has to be mute. Make it equal to 0. Should probably. I think that is difficult for me about types is that I never know which one to use. That's why I don't do it. But for these kinds of things, I think I can. It's probably better to use it because it probably saves memory, and it's very simple to know which type it is. And then after this, so I'm gonna use this variable and I'm gonna use a vector, I think. But I'm not really sure. Yeah, I'm gonna have to research how to create a vector and specify the size, I think. I think by default it's probably dynamic, but I'm not really sure. I want to put 3 because there's 3 elements on each one. And like I said before I do this, I'm gonna try the other methods as well. Of changing the element here and trying to get one row at a time instead of the way that I'm doing now. But the logic it's pretty simple, I think. I just count to 3 and then create a vector of size 3 and then make the if condition based on that. And yeah, the only thing is the rows as well, because I have to determine when each thing goes on each row. So it's probably not the best approach. Because this runs each time there is a text here. So inside of here I can't really keep track of the thing because each time is gonna be an instance of the thing. Oh, actually if I create yeah, that makes sense actually. Because if I create the vector, then I'm putting the logic outside. So the vector becomes the row in that case. Because I know when count is equal to true, then is a new row. Then I can make them append the SSV, make them both equal to 0. So I think that works probably. So now let me search on vectors. I have to see how to write as well, or how to append to the file after opening. Okay, right, pretty easy. Oh, yeah, actually it's append the one that I want, probably. So here I'll put if. Don't remember as well how to do the if statements. Then equal to true, but I think it's like this. Make file dots append. Then the vector here. Oh. Then I make the counts equal to 0 and the vector, the row, equal to new vector. Yeah, that probably works. This probably has to be bigger because I want to include the third element. Maybe the playlist that I was gonna watch has those videos. But I guess this guy's videos are good as well. So I think I'm gonna watch this one.
How's it going? My name is
Okay, this here.
Dom, and today I'm talking about vectors in Rust. So a vector is basically just this beefed up array on steroids. It's this data structure where you can store a sequence of elements inside. So how do you make a vector? It's quite simple. You simply just say let's my vector as the name, our variable name. Then you use the colon right here. And you say this is a vector, so VEC. Then inside these two less than and greater than signs, you put down the type of data that is stored in the vector. For example, we can use
Maybe an array is gonna be better because I know the size of the thing. So vector might be a waste of memory, or
32 right here to make a vector that stores a bunch of I32 integers. This is equal to VEC new. Now that's one way of making a vector. There's an easier way, and probably a more common way to do this. Instead of this stuff right here, we can simply say equals, and then VEC exclamation mark for the macro, and then inside here, these guys right here, you just put down some default information, or some default data. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this line right here makes a new vector that stores I32 integers with some default data inside it. So it stores 4 elements. Now how do you access these elements? You can use the index of one of the elements. For example, to access the number 3, we use index 4. So to do this, instead of this,
I'm gonna write these methods. And then I'm also gonna, I think this is correct. Yeah, maybe this works. So I'm initializing here, and then I have to, oh, I have to increase the count as well. I wonder, I think I can do it like this. Not sure if Rust accepts this syntax here. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to append the vector into the file. That's another thing. I also forgot to, yeah, we're gonna append the SCH to the vector.
stuff right here, we can simply say equals, and then VEC exclamation mark for the macro, and then inside here, these guys right here, you just put down some default information, or some default data. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this line right here makes a new vector that stores I32 integers with some default data inside it. So it stores 4 elements. Now how do you access these elements? You can use the index of one of the elements. For example, to access the number 3, we use index 2, because it goes 0, 1, 2, and then 3. So we can do this, print line, we can print out my vector at index 2. And this should print out the number 3. Let's try this. Let's go into the console right now, and we'll just type in cargo run. Alright, so we get number 3. Alright, so that is how you access an element inside a vector. Now how do you add more items to a vector? You can do it like this. We can say my vector dot push, so using the push method, and you just pass in a value. For example, push 40. Sorry, okay. Let's go 49. So push 49. So now, basically this vector is now looking like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 49. So that right there pushes a new element to the end of the vector. Alright, so how do you remove an element? You can say my vector dot remove, and for the remove method, you pass in an index. So to remove the first element, you use index 0, the second element, index 1. So for example, we can say remove 1, to remove 2, to remove that element right there. Alright, now, how can we print out the vector? So the whole thing altogether, or just loop through it. We can use a for loop. For example, for
I guess I don't even need this CSV then. You just use it like this.
number in my vector dot ITER. So you want to use the ITER method, that way you can loop through the elements and not lose any ownership. So now we can just simply print line, and we'll print line number. So now we should see each element printed out on the console. Oh, do that. Alright. Okay, so we need to actually declare the vector as being mutable. So if we want to do any of these, pushing or moving or any modification, we need to use the MUT keyword right after the lets. Let's now try this again. And we get 1, 3, 4, 49. So as you can see back inside this right here, we're adding 49 to the end right there. And we're also removing number 2 with that line right there. So now we're left with 1, 3, 4, and 49, just like that. Alright, that's all I have to cover in terms of vectors in Rust, because there's so many things you can do with this vector, there's so many methods and so many different sort of features. So for more information, take a look at the Rust documentation.
Yeah, I guess
And
I'll
what you can
just
do
try to run this, because it doesn't hurt. So what am I doing wrong here? Okay, so it doesn't accept the syntax. It's probably not the only thing. Yeah, I'm gonna remove this as well. So it is actually, I thought it was a string slice, but apparently it is a string. I think it's like this, yeah. And then here I should do the same thing. And let's see now. No method named bands random result in the current score. Huh. I guess it's because this returns, it doesn't return the file object. It returns an enum. What if I did it like this? I wonder if I can do this. I think what's happening is that after I call this, I don't get the file because it goes out of scope. But I'm not really sure if that's the case. And because of that, I can't call the method here on the file because it doesn't exist anymore. But this append should exist according to the documentation there. Let me see. Maybe I closed the. Maybe I closed the tab that I had. This stuff. I guess I changed here. Okay. Right, I think I closed the. Oh no, it's this one. Yeah, it looks like there is a method append. And let me run again and see what happens. Yeah, so it doesn't work because it returns the result. After I call all of the methods there. Oh, it accepts a boolean. Hmm. Oh, I guess I understand what I'm doing wrong here. That I should create this method here. This is where the append goes, not on this one. It's just a method to see if you're gonna be able to append or not to the file. I think that's what's happening. But how do I actually do it then? I guess I'm gonna write this down before I forgot. And this also doesn't work, so I also have to search. Because I'm not sure in Python what I would do is like this, or I create the list and then append the stuff, and then I reassign the value to be equal to a new one. But here I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it. Because maybe there is a method to make the vector clean or to erase the items inside the vector. I'm just gonna look at the documentation, it's probably better. Then if I can't find it, I research again. The other thing, maybe it's better to see this method first because I don't know what kind of yeah, it's better to know how to append first because then I know what kind of type I can append it with because maybe I can't pass the vector. Because again, in Python, what I usually do is to have the CSV writer and then write the rows. And in that case, I can pass the list with the to act as if it was a column. But in this case, I'm not sure if I can do that. And then maybe it's different to use this option to create a file or to use the CSV library. It might be different. So I think I'm gonna look into this first. Yeah, there's another thing I can do. After I create the vector, if it's not possible to... Yeah, but then I was gonna say that I can concatenate the string, but then it's gonna be only on one column. That's the problem. And I want to separate them because after that I'm gonna create a text-to-speech thing that I was talking about in the beginning to read the words. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna do it this way. It's probably better. Yeah, and then I pass the vector here. Hmm. Or maybe not. But I don't wanna write, I wanna append. I guess this is just the writer object. Then I can use that to append later. The same way that, on a similar way that it works on Python. So create this outsider and then oh, okay. I'm gonna do it this way, but I'm not sure if this is the best. Because I wanna append and I don't wanna write. I guess I'll see if... Yeah, I guess the problem with this is that I'm gonna overwrite the first column, so I need to find the append actually. Maybe I'm gonna copy this first and then I'll look for the append. Because I think it's gonna be similar. CSV writer. Hmm. And maybe I should be doing this as well. Yeah, but this one it wouldn't work on my case because I would need to have the. I guess I could make work, but then it would be more work. I could append to the vector and then transform after into this format and then. But I don't think that's the best approach. It was this one that I was looking at. And then here. Oh, actually, but then, yeah, what do I do? I guess I'll go to the other one. See on this one. I just put file there instead of the vector. And then here I would pass the row. Let me see if there are. I guess I'm just gonna run that and see what happens. It doesn't look like there is an append method here. I'm gonna run this and then. Hmm. Obviously, it's because I'm passing the file instead of passing the vector, but So right, true, append, true. Maybe I shouldn't put the read because, yeah. Oh, he's using unwrap in the end. That's the difference. And I'll just run again and see what happens. Okay, at least one last mistakes. So this is because of the function here, probably. I'm not sure if I should put that or not. I think was, yeah, from this one that yes here. Maybe it's because the type is returning here. Yeah, no closure that returns result or option. But I don't think I should return. I'm not sure if I should or shouldn't return in this function the result object. I'm gonna run like this and see what happens. I think it's not gonna work even if it does because I'm not using the correct method. I should append instead of write, but at least it ran this time. So it's saying that I didn't use the result. So that's probably the. So I should probably put this question mark here. The other is just the function, which is. I'm gonna do this again. Oh, nice. Yeah, but it is incorrect, actually. Because of the thing I was talking about. It's not adding to the thing, it's just writing. Yeah, it's just doing a bunch of columns. Let's see if I can get the type just by doing this. It doesn't show up. There must be a method for appending, obviously. So let's see. It doesn't look like there's anything here. Yeah, one possible solution is to remove the right here, but don't think it's a good one. Oh, nice. Same thing that I'm doing. Oh, but I think this is in Python. Yeah. Maybe it is appending, but then it appends on the as a column instead of a row. That's the issue. But there should be a way. It doesn't make any sense to not. I'm pretty confident that there is a way to append. It's something that is probably really common to do. I guess what I could do is append with the do a string concatenation there and then append with the comma. That might be a way, but I don't think it's a good solution as well. It looks like there isn't a way. I'm gonna try this string concatenation stuff. I don't think I need to specify anything. Or I should do the other way that I was using to print. And just do it like this. I'll fix the other mistake after, which is the unused result. Ah, but this is inside of the... Okay, so I use this format here. Hopefully it works. Yeah, now it should work. Delete this. Oh. Damn. Oh, so I guess I can use the plus sign maybe? Or maybe it's probably not gonna work actually. And the other thing is that I have to pass a vector, I guess. Oh, I have an idea. I can just append the comma before. It's probably easier. Yeah, but I'm not sure if I can do that either. So row.push. And then, oops. I'm not sure if that. It's probably not gonna work. Hmm. Okay. So maybe that's the issue. I still think it's not gonna work because of the other mistake here. But maybe it does. Yeah. I don't understand why it worked before, because it's I was supposed to be pushing strings as well before. So I don't understand. Because it's saying the type here, the trait unsigned 8 is not implemented for Vax string. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what this means really well. I don't understand what A's RAF is. It's weird because it works like this, but... And I think the type... Oh, it's not working now. Also, maybe I did something... Maybe I changed something, I don't... Oh, I was using a different method, I think. Yeah, that's the thing. Also, maybe it does work. Yeah, write records. Oh. Yeah, obviously. Let me try the other stuff again. This one. Oops. Yeah, now if I try to use the other method, it's not gonna work. With the right field. Yeah. So the best way is try to figure out how to do the append instead of the write record. Hopefully there is. But why is not working? Oh, it's because of the method that I'm using. But according to the descriptions he's giving here, or she, it should be working. Oh, there's also another problem, which is the rows here. Apparently. Oh no, it's frequency number, then Italian. Okay, it's correct. Never mind. Now let's look at this flush method. I guess I'll try this one. Don't lose anything by trying. I'll do it here. Yeah, same shit. It's either working the way that it's supposed to work, but because it's just writing to the file, it doesn't show up as rows, and you have to do extra stuff that I don't understand to append to the SSV, or I'm using the wrong method. I think those are the two options. Or both of them are true. I'm already tired. I think I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna watch these videos off stream and probably finish this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna finish after I stop here. I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna see if I can append the right way. I think it's pretty much done. The only thing I have to do is figure out how to append the right way, and then once I have the CSV, I'm gonna create this text-to-speech stuff, and then I might create the other branch to try to do it on the different way with the row, but I'm not sure because I think I'm most likely I'm not gonna do that because it's more important to be in on the next project, which is the chain data stuff. So I think I'm gonna do the chain data, start the chain data thing next time I stream. Or I'm gonna watch assembly and learn the other stuff depending on how long it takes, because there are still a bunch of videos that I have to watch. So, but I think I'm gonna start the project and then watch videos as I go along, watch this playlist and begin the other project. And then it's probably something that I'm gonna do as well. Every time that I start the stream, I'm gonna run this stuff that I created here to learn Italian, and then I'm gonna repeat the words with the text-to-speech and see if I can. At least that's gonna be the beginning. Then hopefully after that I figure out different ways to learn how sentences go together. So yeah, until next time. See ya.